Hey, good morning, guys. I look like a bit of a hot mess, but I don't even care. I just wanted to pop on. You know, when you kind of get inspired to just share a message, and I had other things planned for this morning, but I was like, you know what? I need to share this. I shared it on our Insta stories, and I feel like it needs to be permanent somewhere because, Insta stories go away. So I wanted to share an experience that I had yesterday that was really tough. And for those of you that know me well, you know that I don't like conflict. I get very nervous and I don't like, putting uncomfortable situations where they don't need to be had. And if something is going on, I will often feel like, you know, I can't be assertive. It's one of the things that I work on is being assertive and standing up for what I believe in. If it comes to like someone else and I need to stand up for them, I'm the first to be there. But when it comes to me and any personal things that I have going on, it's an area that I'm not the greatest at. And so I'm just being real and vulnerable here with you guys because I want you all to know that if having uncomfortable conversations and being assertive and stepping up as a leader, if that's something that you struggle with, then hopefully you can get some value out of this. So I won't get into details, but there was something that was heavy on my heart for a while now, and I had a conversation with someone who I trusted to talk to it about, and I was really nervous because I didn't want to offend them, and I didn't want it to turn into like super uncomfortable and just like awkward and hey everyone who's watching. And so I just dove in, and she was great, and she was really received it very well, and I just went in a bit prepared, knowing what I kind of wanted to say, took some deep breaths, and I just went into it and shared how I was feeling and how I was like feeling like personally hurt from it, and how other people had kind of felt the same way, and how there was an opportunity to grow and learn from what had been happening. And she completely agreed, and it was great. It turned out to be such a good conversation, and here I was going over the conversation in my head a million times thinking, oh my gosh, what if this happens? And what if they think I'm, being just a baby or being rude or whatever? And, maybe I shouldn't say anything. And so many times we stop ourselves from having these uncomfortable conversations with, maybe a boss or a loved one or a friend. Like sometimes the people we're closest with, we have the most difficulty having these types of conversations with, but they're so crucial to our growth and our development. And especially as leaders, like you guys are in here because you want to level up your leadership and you want to be more than what the limits you've put on yourself. And I want to be more. And hey, thanks, Tara. Good morning, Tina. This is something that I have definitely struggled with. Like I said, for years of being an overthinker, years of taking things personally, years of being an empath and just like taking in all the emotion of people around me and just thinking that I can control other people's thoughts and emotions and how they react. But you know what, you guys, the reality, we cannot control how other people think and how they react. We can only control with what we do and how we think. And when you can step into your power, when I stepped into my power yesterday and just spoke from the heart, the outcome was beautiful. And really, I know that what was being done was not intentional and was not trying to, hurt me or hurt others. And when I say hurt, maybe that's like an overstatement, but that's how I felt. But it really, it was such a positive experience. It just stacked the evidence like, hey, this was a really good conversation to have. And next time when I'm feeling I need to have that conversation, I'm not going to wait so long, because when we wait, we just overthink and we, get ourselves all nervous, and we don't end up having the conversation that could really improve the situation and just get the weight off our chest. Like I felt like I weighed like 10 pounds lighter just from having this conversation. And I think it's going to bring a lot of change to the situation. And I'm so thankful that I stepped up. And I encourage you to step up for yourself and not to allow, your control, because a lot of us have these control issues around how we want people to think and act. And if they're not doing it that way, then we take it personally and we like hold it heavy and we lay awake, sleep, not being able to sleep because of it, and go over in our mind the different scenarios. And it's like, no, why are you doing this to yourself? Why was I doing this to myself? I did this to myself for literally for years, this conversation I've been kind of wanting to have. And yeah, it was so great. And so anyways, if there's a conversation with anyone that you're thinking like a conversation will immediately come to mind, a relationship that you have in your life or a situation that's not sitting quite right with you, I really encourage you to step up for yourself. Have the courage to do it. It's your responsibility to do this. And sometimes you're not going to get as lucky. Like the person that I was talking to, very well received and very supportive and loving. And, we can't always have those great situations. Sometimes the other person on the other end is going to feel hurt. They're going to be defensive. They're going to be mad. They're maybe not even going to talk to you for a while. Who knows? Maybe it'll be forever. I don't know. I can't say, and we can't control their reaction, but you have to let go of that expectation and just go into the conversation with a level head. Try and take as much emotion out of it as you can and just show up and speak your truth. And if you do that, and maybe follow up later on just to thank them for listening, or, check in how they're feeling about it since then. And maybe that's me just wanting to like make things better. So I'm sitting here just even like learning from myself. But yeah, it's not your responsibility to necessarily worry about the outcome. It's just to have that conversation and do it in the most respectful way that you can, obviously. And yeah, I can say just from my experience that it was great. And I think back to other conversations that I've had that were tough, and really a lot of them turned out very positive. So, what's the worst that can happen, but what's the best that can happen? So definitely go have that conversation and don't overthink it too much. Just dive into it and let me know how it goes. I would really love to hear about a crucial conversation that you had and the outcome and how it just felt like a weight was lifted off you, because I can guarantee at the very least it's going to feel like that for sure. So best of luck, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. This was just like totally off the cuff, just like I'm like, I feel like I have to say this, like someone else could maybe be going through this. And it was funny because Allie, she's so supportive, she messaged me right away. She's like, oh my god, you did it, that's so great, like congrats. I know how hard that is for you and you're not really assertive, like it's a challenge, and that you stepped into your power, and it's just going to be easier the next time you have to do it. And it's really all about confidence for sure, and building that confidence up. And yeah, going into the next conversation, I know that I'll be that much more confident and excited to know that this is going to bring growth and change, and not just more upset and drama and negative feelings or hurt feelings. That it's a good thing, and if you can do it in a responsible, respectful way, then you shouldn't have anything to worry about. So anyways, much love and have an amazing day. Happy hump day, and thanks for tuning on, guys.